Svechnikov to undergo knee surgery. This is from Don Waddell, President General Manager of the Hurricanes. Quote, after further consultation with global experts in this field, it has been determined that the best course of action for Andrei's future is to have this surgery and to have it done by our team orthopedist. We are confident that Andrei will make a full recovery. So Svechnikov tied with skaters in points this season. He's got 55. He's third on the team in goals with 23 in 64 games played. And as we talked about in the previous segment, there's just been a run of unfortunate things for Svechnikov specifically and the Carolina Hurricanes in the postseason, and some bad breaks for the Canes in general as they've got in the postseason. That being said, other teams deal with this too. The Canes are not unique in dealing with injury issues at this time of the year. It's hockey. Everybody's dealing with some sort of quote-unquote concern at this point that we'll never hear about. I still think the Canes defensively, and with Freddie Anderson in net, healthy and locked in, can make a showing in the postseason. I'm going to remain optimistic about the Carolina Hurricanes' chances. Let's answer some Hey Joe questions.
Joe cracked the dawn,
Hey Joe, brought to you by Oak City Sports Cards, oakcitycards.com. From Bennett, hey Joe, am I in the minority that I'm glad the Canes didn't do anything insane and mortgage the future at the trade deadline? Now with Svech out, feel like no one they got would have been a replacement, and they have the parts to retool in the offseason via trade.
It's revisionist history to act and know that somebody was going to get hurt, somebody as impactful as Andrei Svechnikov. You're going to make trades based on the available data you have. And in the case of Max Pacioretty, the available data, Joe, was that they've already spent a good chunk of the season without him. They played a total of 8 games with Max Pacioretty, right? It was something like 8 games. Off the top of my head, I can't remember.
5.
Was it 5?
5.
Oh, okay. In other words, not a lot of games. And he was, not to say a bonus, but it was somebody they wanted to plug in and go from there. But when they did a reassessment, it felt like a rational move not to overreact and use the remaining cap space, at $10 million in cap space, Joe, that added depth on defense. The ghost has worked out. We don't know what Puljujärvi is going to be able to do.
If they were in the Western Conference, I would say to you, keep drinking the Kool-Aid. It'll be okay.
Sure.
This isn't the Western Conference. And I'm not blaming them for not making a move. I honestly think their calculus was, we're good enough.
Mm-hmm.
We're good enough. Now the move for Max was to be done for him to be the bonus, to be the push over the edge.
Yeah.
And so it's like, well, we're second in the conference without him, so what do we need? What else do we need? I like the tweaks, the Puljujärvi, Gostisbehere. I like the tweaks. But at some point, you have to realize, you said, other teams go through this. Not the teams that win the Cup.
Yeah.
This is 2 of the top 6 that they had counted on to be there for them.
Yeah.
Yes, can Freddie Anderson turn into a magician? Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Can their defense just choke the life out of some other teams?
We've seen it.
They can. We have seen it. But the truth of the matter is, to do that successfully 4 times out of 7 games, it's just asking too much.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that doesn't mean throw in the white towel and don't compete for the rest of the year. It is a shame for Rod Brind'Amour because, again, I think they've built the franchise the right way. And now here they are in the playoffs again, and they're not going to be at full strength. And that's all you ever want, is to get a kick at this thing when you know you were able to give it your best kick. And when you don't have your full complement of forwards, you don't have your full complement on defense, you look at it and you go, you always get that little nagging,
yeah, like the what if.
But no, I don't think you can retcon it and go back and say, well, this is proof.
Yeah,
they should have given up Seth Jarvis for Timo Meier. No, I still haven't seen great data that shows these teams who make the splash moves at the deadline are the ones who end up winning the Cup. The tournament itself is extremely difficult. Luck is a huge part of it. Being healthy is a huge part of it as well. And unfortunately for the Canes, it doesn't look like that last part is going to be on their side.
I want to be crystal clear about what I'm saying. This is a crushing bit of news for the Carolina Hurricanes today. And I feel like the room is going to have to overcome yet another one of these locker room letdowns. Because you remember what the vibe was with the Pacioretty injury. Yep. And I know that that's going to be the case with this group after Andrei Svechnikov, who has been there and has been looked at as a core piece to their postseason fortunes. We've been asking him to step up. Now we won't know if he's going to be able to do it after what's been a pretty good year for him.
He turns 23 in 12 days. It's crazy.
All I'm saying is there's different ways to, as you like to credit Tony Bennett and Virginia basketball, build the better mousetrap. This will be yet another test of the way Rod Brind'Amour wants this team to play. And we've seen defensively them choke other squads. Can they do that over the course of one series? I think they can. Can they do it over the course of two series? I think they can, especially if Freddie Anderson and the load management is locked in. Can they get to the Stanley Cup? Well, that's when things start getting a little dicey because you need to have some firepower. I don't want to go full Sendekian here, but there are two ways to win a hockey game, Joe. You can score more than the other guy, or you can prevent the other team from scoring more than you. And I think this team is equipped defensively to do the latter part, but we shall see.